BTS News Today. When people talk about BTS and their influence across the world, the conversation often turns toward their music, their unity, and their ability to speak to the hearts of millions. But behind every perfect harmony, every breathtaking performance, and every emotional story told through song, there is a presence that feels both delicate and powerful: Park Jimin. The name itself evokes warmth, a quiet intensity, and a sincerity that has shaped not just the identity of BTS, but also the soul of their message to the world. As BTS evolves into the next phase of their journey, one question lingers among fans and industry observers alike. Why is Jimin irreplaceable for BTS's future? To understand that, one must look beyond the glittering stage lights and explore the emotional architecture of BTS, where Jimin stands as both the heart and the pulse. His influence cannot be measured simply by dance lines or vocal notes. It lives in moments, in the way he looks at his members during interviews, in the way he steps forward when the group needs warmth, and in how his artistry continuously bridges the gap between vulnerability and strength. Since debut, Jimin has been the embodiment of passion wrapped in grace. His training was rooted in contemporary dance, and it shows in everything he does. His movements carry emotion like a whisper that turns into a storm. On stage, Jimin's performance is not about technical perfection alone, it's about storytelling. He dances not just with his body, but with his entire being. Whether it's Lie, Serendipity, or Set Me Free PT2, Jimin doesn't perform a song, he lives it. And that authenticity is something that can't be replicated, because it doesn't come from choreography. It comes from the truth he carries inside him. The story of BTS has always been one of resilience, of 7 young men breaking barriers in a world that didn't initially welcome them. Through every era, from I Need You to Butter, Jimin's presence has been quietly vital. When the group faced their darkest times, his emotional intelligence often became their silent glue. There were countless moments where fans noticed him comforting others, a hand on Jungkook's back, a whispered word to Taehyung, or a nod toward RM during interviews that carried exhaustion behind their smiles. Jimin understands people not through words, but through empathy, and that empathy has become one of BTS's greatest unspoken strengths. When the world began to see BTS not only as idols, but as voices of a generation, Jimin stepped into that narrative naturally. He didn't need to be the loudest speaker or the boldest presence. His influence grew in the way he connected with fans through honesty. Every time Jimin spoke during award shows or concerts, his words were never rehearsed to sound perfect. They were real, trembling with sincerity. He once said, "I just want to be someone who can comfort others through my music." That simple line has echoed across ARMY hearts for years because it perfectly captures what Jimin has always been: a quiet light for those who need it most. As BTS navigates their solo chapters, Jimin's artistry has continued to evolve, setting a tone that feels deeply emotional yet universally resonant. His solo album, Face, wasn't just an artistic expression, it was a confession. The rawness in tracks like Crazy and Set Me Free PT2 revealed the internal struggle of someone who has grown up under the weight of global fame but still seeks authenticity. The project was intimate and brave, and it reminded fans of something crucial. Jimin isn't just part of BTS. He's one of its defining storytellers in the years ahead. As BTS transitions through individual pursuits and collective milestones, the emotional balance of the group remains tied to personalities like Jimin's. He's the bridge between power and tenderness, between ambition and reflection. RM may be the mind of BTS, Jungkook its fire, Taehyung its soul, Suga its voice of truth, Jin its heart of humor, and J-Hope its beam of energy. But Jimin is the pulse that keeps everything human. His ability to bring warmth into every dynamic, to turn intensity into intimacy, ensures that no matter how the group evolves, their connection remains intact. Industry experts often note how K-pop groups depend heavily on chemistry. But BTS's chemistry has always felt deeper, rooted in shared purpose and emotional transparency. That transparency, in many ways, has been nurtured by Jimin's character. He has never shied away from showing his emotions, even when it meant crying on stage or admitting insecurities in front of millions. Rather than weakening his image, those moments made him more relatable, more beloved. Because in a world of flawless performances and digital filters,